Going on, everybody? 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Must be time for us to take a trip in the man cave and talk hoops. This is Polk Hoops, your number one source for Polk County High School basketball. To my far left, we got the All-State PG, Coach Corey Toomer, and to my kind of closer left, we got the All-State Coach Billy D. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, Cole? What's up, CT?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all being with us we made it to another Thursday. Get a chance to talk hoops, get caught up on some things. We got a good show lined up. Two schools coming through. We continue our Polk County Media Days. We got Lake Gibson up first in a few minutes. And then later on, we got the state champ Bartow Yellow Jacket stopping through. So very excited for both of those teams to come through and continue to showcase the teams as we get ready for the season. The season to be here very, very quickly. So we want to continue with what we've been doing. So we've been appreciative of, the teams participating, and hopefully, we'll continue to spotlight the kids and the team as they get ready for the 2020 and 2021 season. So as we do each week, we want to go ahead and get started with our segment, Tuba's Tape, sponsored by Santa Fe Boys Basketball. So without further ado, PG, take it away. What's on your mind?
Talk about hard work and dedication from players, and understanding what it takes to be an elite superstar. A lot of kids now just think that playing pickup ball every day or playing basketball every day is the way that their game advances, when you should spend hours in the gym working on not only your strengths, but I think 70% is working on your weaknesses to try to master the things that you can't do. And how many kids actually do that, and how many kids are actually willing to be told that the skills that they think they don't have, and what they need to work on. What's y'all take on that?
Well, my first question was going to be, who determines to them what is a weakness? Because, nowadays, most of these players feel like everything is a strength. They're good at everything. So I guess that would be the first thing. I agree with you that you need to make your weakness a strength. But if you feel like everything is good, then where do you start, and how does that translate?
For me, I think it starts with whoever's coaching or training the kids, or how they're working. Like I say, a lot of kids now, if they see that their strength is dunking and they're playing travel ball or they're just playing pickup ball, majority of the time, what they're trying to do, they're trying to leak, trying to learn how to do more different dunks, and haven't been told, well, hey, where your left hand at, where your two dribble pull up at, So those things have to come from the coach first, because the coach spends more time with the kid than anyone. And then once the coach it says it to him, if the kid is getting trained, I also think that the coach needs to know who's training the kid, and also deliver that message not only to the parents but also to the kids as well.
So how does that go if the coach is not a fan of the trainer?
Oh, you had lost already. Like, I mean, what do you mean by that? Like, if the coach doesn't think the trainer's a good trainer, or
If a good trainer don't like him, whatever the case may be, the coach is not a fan.
Then the question needs to be asked: how often did the coach give the parent and the kid the keys to the gym?
Because if I'm coaching and I don't like you as a trainer, and he come back to me and you done taught him, crawl dribble, you done taught him to, how to, kind of back dribble through the double team, and I'm like, I don't like the way he taught that, or that's not how you're supposed to do it. You understand? It's like I think it, like you say, I think it has to be kind of it kind of work together. But I'm saying that because I know that there are some coaches. It may not be as much now, but I know that there have been times where a lot of coaches were not fans of the other coaches that were dealing with their kid, either training, coaching them, with travel ball or whatever case may be.
Yeah, I definitely think it needs to be addressed. Like, you know what I'm saying? The communication has to be there, or you'll be at loss already. What you think, Coach?
Well, first of all, I think the child, the parent also have to be transparent and open minded to accept constructive criticism. They it's a real self reflection. If you can't identify what your weaknesses are, there's no way you can work on them to improve them. Like I might tell Toomer, "Oh, you don't have a left hand." You like, "Oh, yes, I do." So you're not even gonna work on it. You know what I'm saying? Some people have a hard time accepting, what their weaknesses are.
Yeah,
So, that's one roadblock. And I'm with both of you guys that I would like to know who my players are getting trained by, and I would like to know what they're teaching. I would even probably like, hey, can I, you know, be there for a session so I can see, so we can kind of talk, communicate, so we can have the same platform, so he can bring those skills back to what I need here on the team. Because if you're teaching something that's going to be totally different from my team philosophy, he's going to struggle.
yeah,
He's going to struggle big time. So it's great to communicate, but I already know I can see parents, bucking the system like, hey, I'm paying this trainer to do this, this, and this. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to determine, how we spend our money, who he goes to or she goes to and things of that nature. But it all boils down to relationships and building positive relationships that you can have that open communication. But if kids want to be great, you have to be in the gym all the time. One of my kids, Brandon Robinson, nobody really talked about him in high school. Once he got out, he's had a successful career and having a great career in the pros. But people don't realize how much gym time this kid put in. You in the gym in the morning, then you do what you need to do. He's in the gym at night, putting up thousands and thousands of jump shots in order to improve your game. And it's not only shooting, it's not
yeah,
only dribbling, it's taking care of your body, lifting weights, eating the correct things. It's just working on all facets of your game. And everybody got to be on the same page. But at the same time, you got to be acceptive and transparent to criticism, because they're not saying it to break you down. They're saying it to make you better. So what are you going to do about it after you get this information?
I think it's kind of more prevalent now as far as like what Coach said about, I think a very kind of, I don't want to say misused or misunderstood or not maximized, whatever the phrase I'm looking for, is that basketball players don't do it as much as, because I guess some of them, they don't have to. They don't take care of their bodies. I was looking at an interview of Rondo, Rajon Rondo. They asked him a question about LeBron, and he said that LeBron James probably got the best personal trainer on the planet. He said he's never seen anybody since he's been playing basketball that takes care of their body like LeBron does. And you look at him physically, obviously he take care of his body. And 17 years later, he's still performing at a high level. I don't think that I think that kind of gets kind of glanced over by basketball kids, not necessarily football kids, because football kids you got to do it, but you don't see as many basketball kids, and that we know one team, not saying everybody don't do it, but we know that Bartow is kind of famous for their plyometrics. They spend a lot of time on that stuff, but I don't think kids pay enough attention to their bodies, which I think can also stop them from being great, as you say. I mean, being in the gym is great and it's necessary, but you also got to make sure that you in condition and you're in shape. We talked about that with the Lake Gibson and Lakeland game a couple of weeks ago in football, where it looked like one team was in shape, it looked like another team wasn't. So I think that's a big part of being great that a lot of players and kids don't pay enough attention to for whatever reason. Because like you say, if I can dunk and I can shoot, then why do I need to be able to lift the weight, or why do I need to be, they don't see the relationship that one helps with the other.
Yeah.
Coach, what I found out when I went to college, though, I figured out how important that was because it prevented injury. You know what I'm saying? It prevents injury, being strong,
proper rest,
and being flexible. I didn't realize how important flexibility was, to prevent injury. The stronger those muscles are, stronger those ligaments are, it helps you be on the court in the field. If you have to take care of your body. I think if I'd have figured that out earlier, what I'm saying, I wouldn't have had the injuries that I had in college. But, I try to stress that to the students now. It's important to take care of your body, but prepare it. Because, it's a lot of injuries that these kids are having could be prevented because they think the only thing they have to do is just go out there and play. But it's a lot of work that needs to be put in on the front end and the back end of that. Not only lifting weights, being flexible, but what you put inside your body. And Tiffany Hayes came on here and said that also.
Yeah.
What you put in is what you're going to get out of it. And LeBron is able to perform at a high level because not only is he doing it through his training regimen, but I'm guaranteed he has some type of meal plan. He of course, he's rich, so he's going to have a chef cooking all these things that he needs to perform at a high level. And I think because of that, LeBron can play another 10 years. He probably can play another 10 years.
I think I definitely look at the smile on his face because we talked about it the other day. And he said he don't believe he can play another 4 at the level he at. And I was like, I don't see how he can't. He handling the ball. One thing I remember, I had a meeting with Tracy last year around this time. We were sitting down talking about why certain guys are able to stand in the league so long compared to others, right? And one of the things he said that made Kobe last as long as he did, as well as what we're seeing with LeBron, is they're ball dominant. So they got the ball in their hands. Not only are they healthy, but they got the ball in their hands. So my thing with Barnes was like, why couldn't he? If he's playing the point position, he might not average 27, 28 a game, but he has the ball in his hands. He's controlling the game. That makes it easier for him for another 4-5 years.
Well, from a physical standpoint, I mean, he clearly in the same shape. He don't look like he physical wise has lost a step from 10 years ago. So from that standpoint, I mean, it'd be hard to disagree with that.
Yeah, because it's the thing we talk about all the time. No bad habits. Kids these days, they don't trust that knowledge of no bad habits. Kids want to smoke. Kids want to just be popular. Kids they want to eat bad food. They don't want to take it as serious. That's why you see certain kids, one and done kids, they apply everything that someone is telling them compared to kids that we see right here that got talent, that they just don't apply those things. Like, okay, what is really a diet? You know what I'm saying? You mean I gotta stop drinking sodas? You mean I can't eat after 9 o'clock? Those things I don't think our kids understand. And coaches can tell them. You can tell a kid that all the time, but sometimes that message just ain't getting through the right way.
But you know what, though? I was talking to a coach out of the Missouri area, I think. And I think it's something that Florida need to look at is the different aspects of the game. Like, they have, like, nutritionists that work with the teams, but they also have, like, mental health counselors and everything. Like, it's looking at the whole athlete. And I think with the type of athletes that we have here, if we start those type of services early, that these kids will be better prepared. So just imagine, you have a strength and conditioning person for your team. You have a nutritionist, you know what I'm saying? You have a mental health person, because we all know coaching these kids, they need somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And why not start with like some type of financial services with them early, so they know how to take care of their money, or know about credit, or something like that, so they won't go into these situations clueless. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tired of seeing these young, talented players go and waste their money as soon as they get to the league. I had one of mine. He signs a pro contract, right? When he comes back, he asks, could he borrow some money? I'm like, what did you do with your money? Come to find out, they say he bought like 100 pair of Jordans. I mean,
I
he
saw
don't know any better.
I saw something today on the I'm an Athlete thing. First of all, what's up, sis? Appreciate you checking in. Checking us out today. Second of all, you always know when Bartow on, because anyway, they start early. But I was watching this the I'm Athlete thing, and those guys, Fred Taylor, he do a real good job on that. But he was like, the first thing he said kind of same thing you saying, Coach, like talking to the rookies when they first get their money. And the first thing he said to them is, that you signed for $1 million, but you're not getting $1 million. They chopping 40% off the top. Then you got to pay your agents, you got to pay all these other stuff. So don't go out there and spend like you got $1 million, because what you got on that paper and what you putting, what you gonna bring home, what a check gonna look like, is gonna be two totally different things, and that's something that they kind of miss. And it have them in some mess, like you saying, where you I signed the contract and I'm having to borrow money, ask money from you. So, but yeah, to answer your question though, boss, it's just the kids today. The one big thing that I see that they missing, that doesn't get harped on enough, is training, taking care of their body, and the person that a lot of these kids love the most could be the poster child for us, LeBron James. I mean, he's 17 years later, he's still doing it the same way, and it's a testament to his body. I mean, obviously he got a very high skill set, but for him to be to that level and never really got a serious injury, that's the thing that people don't get. That guy been going at it for 17 years and he ain't had a serious injury the whole time. That can't be by accident. So if that's one thing, I think can help kids, in addition to, like you said, working on their weaknesses, which that's a tough one, because nowadays kids feel like everything they do is the best. Everything they do is great. You can't tell them, what you mean I got no left hand? Did you just see me make that layup? I mean, not that you can't dribble with it, but I made the layup. You understand? So it's like that's the feedback you get. So both of y'all being players and coaches, somebody come at you side like that, you done talking, like it ain't got nothing to do with you making a left hand layup. You can't even get to the layup if somebody walk up on you and turn you a couple times, and you got to put the ball in your left hand. But they don't get that concept, like you say. So it's kind of it's tough. But the ones that get it, they much more ahead of the game. But it's just not always. It's hard to get through to the ones. That's my biggest thing. I think at the roadblock is just the acceptance that you even got a weakness to start with.
Yeah. Well, I know we got the coach on, man. So I guess we can do the coach's corner at the end. We got Lake Gibson ready.
Okay. All right. Well, to continue on with our media days, we got our first team on, coach, and I don't know if he got some kids with him, but I know he's coming on to kind of talk about the upcoming season and their thoughts on it. So he's kind of new to the county. So I know he's been on the show a couple of times, kind of on the page, but this will be the first time he's live on the show. So we want to welcome Coach David Alston from Lake Gibson High School.
Hey guys, glad to be here.
What's going on, Coach?
How you doing, Coach?
Not much. Hate to say it, but kids got homework today.
Hey,
Coach, I got to get my work done. So.
We understand, Coach. So tell you how it goes, Coach. I don't know if you checked this out or not, but we let you kind of start off with, opening statement of kind of, anything you want to talk about, and we'll ask you some questions, and then you'll finish up with some closing thoughts. That's kind of how the format goes. So, without further ado, we'll give it to you for any opening statements that you want to make concerning being on the show, or being about the team or anything. Period.
Well, I appreciate you having us or having me. I just watch it, just listen to you guys talk. I mean, it reminds me of all the years been sitting in a coach's office with football coaches and baseball coaches, other basketball coaches, just talking shop and all the things that come up. Like y'all are talking about the kids taking care of themselves, accepting coaching and things like that. It's funny to hear, or it's funny, but it's also validating when you hear other coaches saying the same things that you're having to say, in your practices, in the classroom, in other situations like that. As far as myself, this will be year 19 for me. Been at it a while. Year 2 here at Lake Gibson. Got a pretty young team coming up. We lost a lot to graduation, but had a pretty solid JV team last year. A lot of guys that had played together for a while, so they're coming up as juniors. So it's a good thing in that they've got some youth, but they've also got some experience together. Build some chemistry from here on out, and got to learn how to compete at the varsity level. And I think we got a pretty good shot to be pretty competitive this year. No, I won't say how many wins that'll translate to, but I'm gonna take a shot at Toomer's prediction at least.
Coach, a question for you: How have you been handling COVID with the kids? Being that you lost quite a bit of seniors, and I know you also lost a couple transfers. So, what adjustments have you been able to do to try to get your team prepared for November? Is it November 2nd you guys get started?
Right. Yeah. That follow the next Monday. I've lost a couple of transfers, but it was to Florida. I mean, you can transfer tomorrow and be eligible. We've had about 3 or 4 come in, so it is what it is. Kids find a reason to go. Sometimes it's legitimate to some of us. Sometimes we don't think it is. It is what it is. But ultimately, it's got to be about what's best for the kids. They're gonna be happy wherever they're at. That's fine. But as far as COVID goes, the county gave us restrictions and said, hey, you can work out with this many. You can do this. You can't do that. We do what we can. Do what we've always tried to do. Do what's best for the kids. Take temperatures, check out the symptoms, make sure they don't have any. But just doing everything we can.
So, Coach, last year was your first year in Polk County, but it wasn't your first year coaching. So you were unknown because you came from out of state, came in and got to the playoffs. So you may have been the surprise of the county. And I don't know if it was a surprise of the county because I think a lot of it was people just didn't know you. So how was that coming in from out of state, from a totally different state, busting new kids, and making that work to the point that you got them into the playoffs in your first year out there?
Well, the move itself was a challenge because we didn't get to move until late July, so we really didn't have a whole lot of time in the summer to really gel. The first real action we actually saw was the fall league at Heritage last year. It was a kind of a whirlwind the last week of July, the first couple of weeks of August, just trying to get to know everybody and get everybody in the gym. Just you getting contacts and getting everybody there. But I'll say I've said this from year 1 to year 19 now. Basketball is basketball. What the kids can do, what the kids can't do. It's my job to make sure they do what they can do more than what they can't do, and try to build an atmosphere where everybody is working together and being about the team and giving themselves to something larger. It's not just about them. It's not just about, well, I got my 20. It's like, yeah, but your team got beat 30. What good is that? How did you make your teammates better too? You got 20. How many assists did you get? How many rebounds? What did you do for the rest of the team? And it takes a while to really instill that. And the kids I got, I've got some great kids. I've got a couple behind me that did stick around after all. Look up there, Tyrese Wilson and TJ Evans.
Okay.
Two of my rising juniors this year. Big things from them. But the transition, there's a little different restrictions. In the old school, we had practice period during the day. Here, we have to wait till after school. So it was just getting used to how things work. And now I've kind of got my feet wet, kind of having a better understanding of what things are doing, what we can do, what we can't do, all that. And I'm ready to get rolling again.
What you teach out at Lake Gibson, Coach?
This year I'm teaching economics and government. Last year it was world history.
Okay, so you got job security while you teaching.
I hope so.
Social studies.
You need to go ahead and take that PE test, Coach.
Hey, well, Coach,
I've been told that.
I'm gonna segue into
around the system.
Coach, I'm gonna segue into a question. You lost, I want to say 9 or 10 seniors, I think. I counted last year.
Something like that.
Then you, like you say, you lost a couple transfers, so you got a kind of a fairly new team. So you got a couple of your kids there now. So I'm gonna give you a chance if you want. If you want to keep it quiet and keep it, secret, that's fine. I want to give you a chance to kind of talk about your new kids and kind of what we can expect from the new braids that are coming up this year.
Well, this is Polk County. I don't know that there's much secrets. Everybody knows somebody. Everybody's got a cousin somewhere. So it's, I hear the kids in the hallway always talking. They know they got this cousin at Kathleen. They got a cousin at George Jenkins. They got a cousin at Auburndale, and they're talking on the phone. They're on Snap. Everybody knows everybody at this point. Okay. But one thing I also know from hearing the kids talk, apparently everybody's trash, and you can't guard me. So but that's kids. Just coming up, Tyrese. I'll start with the two that are here. Tyrese and TJ both started for the JV team last year. Played significant minutes. I don't have any stats here in front of me, but it was, they won more than they lost, and they were a pretty competitive year, from game in to game out, and have gotten a lot better. And we'll need them both to score a little bit and defend and lead. As far as others, Ben Foster probably going to be could be one of our leading scorers. Pretty good spot up shooter, can create for others. And oh yeah, got some football guys coming too. Sam McCall is going to give us some rebounds and defense. Quayshawn will be coming back. Quayshawn Exantis coming back from football. Be give us some size inside. And so on. And got a young man transferred to us as a senior from Puerto Rico. He's got a pretty good game. Strong guard, can score on the outside a little bit. So you've got some pieces, and still got to see him in the gym. And we hadn't been able to play a whole lot outside of fall league and whatnot. But we got tryouts in a couple of weeks, and finally get to hit the floor for some real legitimate action and see where we can go.
You haven't been able to play because of the COVID rules and all that?
Right. Yeah, not as not on campus, things like that. You gotta practice AAU style.
Oh, okay.
You got experience with AAU, Coach, or this kind of brand new to you?
I've never coached it, but had worked with AAU coaches in the area. They come to me, say, Coach, can we get in the gym? Coach, can we do this? Or, what do you think about this? Run some plays by me. And it's just been interaction here and there. Get to watch some tournaments every now and then. And it's good for the kids that they get to play. At least they're doing something. At least if they're in the gym playing somewhere, they're not doing other things they're not supposed to.
I'm sure your kids been at Duff Field a lot too. They've been.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the new street league right there to get the kids active. So they've been keeping themselves pretty busy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what every time they say, Coach, are you going? Are you going? Can I get a ride? And next thing I know, they're talking about playing up to 6, 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Then I start to wonder when they're getting their homework done.
Yeah, they turn the lights on out there, and it gets pretty, especially like on Wednesday night. I think that's the night. Wednesday and Sunday it get pretty crowded out there. So, Coach, speak about your thoughts on. I mean, you came in and y'all put your district. You put 3 teams in the playoffs. Probably we say that's the only Polk County district in the county, because we consider Sebring and Hardy to be Polk County, even though they're really not. So talk about your district and how you feel like how people match up, or have you thought about it this year coming up?
I thought about it as much as I can. The transfer circus, they're at the end of July, and right now it's kind of made it, it's a toss up. I mean, Auburndale's got, they got the tradition, they got the transfers, they're going to be big, they're going to be pretty good. You got to beat them. You're going to have to beat a good, Lake Region's going to be good. I don't see anybody in our district really being just truly weak. There's nobody that's just going to be, just lay down for anybody. Lake Wales, gave us a close game every time we played them, and they struggled against some other teams. And it's like I tell my guys, it's basketball. Anybody can beat anybody on any given night. One guy can get hot and score 30 and never score 30 again the rest of his life. One team can rise up and play real well on a night. You got to try to be consistent with your effort. Play hard, play through bad times, play through good times. Hardy brings a lot back. They got Parker, big kid, 6'8" kids. They're a load by themselves. He's got his leading scorers back. Sebring's gonna be tough. I know Alvin left, but they weren't. They're not gonna be a pushover either. So last year we put 3 in the playoffs and could have had 4 or 5 easily. It came down to good math on our part.
That is a tough little district there. You got Sebring, Hardy, Lake Gibson, Lake Wells, Auburndale, Lake Region.
Mm-hmm. Wow. We play them all this year. We're gonna play them all.
You play it one time or twice?
I think we got Sebring once. I think everybody else we play twice.
Oh, okay.
I don't like not playing my district guys. I don't like showing up at a district tournament and never having played somebody. I want to get a feel for them. Before we get to playoffs, and video scouting can only do so much.
Well, this year more than ever, you kind of got to play them, because the county has put restrictions on you all as far as how you can schedule, right, and how you can play. Have you had trouble with scheduling games? Have you lost games with all the kind of restrictions they're talking about?
No, got a full schedule. Added a couple of teams that we didn't play last year. We're playing OCP again. Got to go there this year, so that'll be a good experience one way or the other. But let's see, we're playing Haines City, going to the Auburndale shootouts early in the season, playing in the Ridge Christmas tournament. Ridge's coming here. We're hosting a Martin Luther King event that Friday and Saturday before. So I'm excited. I like our schedule. Yeah, we play a lot of our district teams. We get the games in. And
I hope you put Haines City on the schedule twice.
Well, Coach,
I had one spot left.
Coach. That's kind of what got you. We talked about it on the show. That's what got you on the playoffs. Your strength of schedule. I mean, your last 10 games, I think you played OCP, you played Santa Fe, you played Lakeland, you played like 5 of the last 7 teams you played all made the playoffs. So that definitely didn't hurt. Even though you didn't play as well, you would have wanted to win them, but the fact that you played them still got you in.
We always want the opportunity. If nothing else, you want the opportunity. And Coach, Hall of Fame coach I worked with my first few years, Craig Daly in North Mississippi, he's won about 11 state championships. But he always said, it doesn't do you any good to schedule somebody that you can beat 40. It doesn't make you any better. He said you can tell, you can look at my record and say, you look at my record, if we're 15-8, we're human. You got a shot. If I'm 25-1, look out. It's not, we're not scheduling a 20-win season. We're scheduling to play the playoffs. We're not practicing to beat the guy right in front of us. We're not practicing to beat our JV guy. We're practicing to beat that D1 guy that's coming in on the next team. We're practicing to beat, the LA Lakers. If they walk in, we're practicing to beat them. Yeah, we may not be able to do it, but we're going to practice like that. We're going to work that way.
That's a sign of respect, though, for you as a coach, especially coming in from a different state, to just take that challenge on of playing an OCP and teams like that instead of trying to find the games to get early wins. I got a question for you, Coach. How has it been for the transition of basketball from where you was at to Polk County basketball, like seeing it? Or what do you consider the biggest difference of where you used to coach at out of state to now being in Florida in Polk County? What's the difference in what you see far as the basketball?
Size. Basketball. From what I've seen, basketball is basketball. The biggest difference I've seen is size. Here in Polk County, there's a dozen schools within 30 minutes of each other that are all 2,000 plus students. So the Gulf Coast where I'm from, you had Gulfport High School, Biloxi High School, Harrison Central, West Harrison, all schools 1,200 to 1,800 in size within a few minutes, 20 miles within 20 miles of each other. Outside of that, you had to travel an hour and a half to get to a school of similar size. So right there on the coast, it was real similar. I told my coaching friends back in Mississippi, it's basically like Gulfport and Biloxi playing every night. You can't have an off night. You can schedule some. You can look at the schedule from where it came from. You can look at the schedule and you'd have 4 or 5 games that everybody in the gym knows. Everybody in the country, in the county knew you should win those games. Just because you were a bigger school. But when you're playing schools that same size, they got the same number of athletes to choose from. You got the same kind of facilities, and it becomes the game of inches, really. A fingertip here, a jump ball there, a possession there, and it turns the whole ball game. So in a way, it's just you have to be on you have to bring your A game every night. Whereas when you schedule, you have those easier games, you can have an off night and still get a win. Here, not so much, and I like that. I like that challenge. It forces me to stay on my game. It forces me to push them. Like I try to.
Coach, you talked about basketball is basketball, but is it a difference in style of play from where you came from to here? Me being a high school coach and being a travel ball coach in the past, when you play in different states, like I used to love playing teams from the Midwest, like Kentucky, Indiana, because I already knew they was going to run good sets, things of that nature. What adjustment that you had to make coming from the area that you came from to here?
I'm not really sure that I have to have made an adjustment, because philosophically speaking, I teach my guys to play. I don't teach them to run plays. I teach them to play. We react. We react to what the defense gives us. So we create a lot of breakdown situations. Pass and go do something. And with that freedom comes the freedom not only to succeed, but the freedom to fail. You make a bad decision, or you don't cut, or you're not on the same page. It takes that chemistry and experience to build. As far as from one region to the next, the better teams, the more skilled teams, they press. They press you from baseline to baseline. They got guys that can step up and hit shots. They'll run sets when they have to. They attack the basket. They'll spread the floor and attack. It's all based on personnel. I will say I saw probably a little more zone at times in Mississippi, but if I go back and I think about the best teams, the best programs, the really competitive ones, there's not a whole lot of difference between here and there. It's just the difference in the size of the school, or just the individual kids themselves.
Coach, have you been to a state championship in Mississippi while you was coaching, or you have? Did you win it? Or
I've been fortunate. Okay. I've been a part of 10 state championships as a player and as assistant coach. Just haven't got it as a head coach yet. So,
how many years did you get it up as assistant coach?
Let's see, 3. Yeah, 3.
Okay, great.
3 as an assistant.
Did y'all win it or y'all came up short?
Won 3. We won 3, came up short. Out of the 10 times, we've lost 4. So
I asked that because to see you guys how well you guys did last year, and you played a tough schedule. Kind of wanted to kind of figure out what was it that you brought to the table that a normal Lake Gibson coach hasn't been bringing. And right there, you've been to the bigger stage, so you understand the basketball a lot more. I would say, So to hear you say, yeah, we're gonna play the OCPs and all that. Now we kind of can get an understanding on, winning or losing. You know what it takes to actually break down and make the playoffs, as far as the of who you're playing and why you're so competitive, because you've played at that, you've coached and played at that level, but lately you've coached at the level of being on a state championship team, whether you're assistant coach or head coach, you've done that. So that's a lot.
You have to have those expectations. I mean, that has to be a goal. I mean, that has to be the ultimate goal that you're working towards it. Otherwise, it's just a pastime. If this is really a passion, if you really care, if you're really committed, then the state championship should be your goal. Now, not winning a state championship is not always a failure. Some teams just not going to be able to make it, but that's still the goal. And you want to put yourself in that opportunity to get there every time. And if you're not playing at least a challenging schedule, you may want to throw in one homecoming game too, just to get the confidence up and get an easy win if you can. But at the end of the day, though, playing somebody tough every night, that's who you're going to have to beat when it gets down to that time. You've got to beat that good team. You don't have to beat that weak team.
Hey, Coach, there's some coaches around here that look for that schedule, man. They look for the cupcake schedule, though. So respect to you, because you got a lot of guys that'll get them 20, 25 wins just to say they won the 25 game when they played Jewett Academy 7 times. So,
well, I'll say this, dude. Being new to the area, I didn't know who that was. So,
well, the thing is, you didn't know who OCP was, Coach, but you picked them up again, so now you know who they are. So,
no, I know now. No, I figured. I knew enough coming to Florida. If it said prep, Christian, or academy, I needed to look out. I knew enough about that. But just in general, if somebody called me saying they wanted a game, hey, that's fine with me. I'll figure it out as we go. And as time goes on, I watch your podcast when I can. I listen to people talk. I'm getting a feel for who is who and who I need to get and all that. It's falling into place, and it's getting fun. I mean, it's fun again. And like I said, if it's still fun in year 19, 20, 21, 25, 30, however many, then then I know I'm in the right profession.
Coach, what is your biggest challenge at Lake Gibson?
Right now, I'd say it's building and sustaining the culture. The gotta work hard and gotta fight through adversity. When you haven't had that, or it hasn't been there for a while, like last year's senior class, I'm not going to speak ill of them because they did work hard and gave me what they could. I was their third coach in 4 years.
Yeah,
and that was a tough situation for a lot of those guys, and for us to have achieved what we did and to still have had the opportunity to do more, I think was a testament to their willingness to try because they could have easily just said, the heck with this and went away. They tried. And I think, had we had 2-3 years together, last year would have been very different. But, hindsight's always going to be 2020. And so I look at opportunities, not only to improve myself, what I could have done better last year, but also as I'm teaching these guys going forward. I'll reference last year. I'll say, y'all remember our senior night, Lake Region. We were playing it's a nip and tuck game in the last minute with late. I think the lead changed 3-4 times when we were up 6 with a minute and a half to go and should have won by 10. But we made some mistakes later, down the stretch that allowed that back and forth to happen. And it's a learning process, And if the coach tells you that every day isn't a learning experience or a teaching experience, they're not doing their job.
Yeah, we were at
I'm
that
glad
game.
you
That
said
was
that, Coach, because
great for the
I
fans.
agree that that should gonna be your biggest challenge. Is I think you're on the right path in changing the culture there. Like you said, it's been a lot of coaching changes. It's been a roller coaster program, but I think it's headed into the right direction. And hats off to you for that.
Appreciate that.
Coach,
We got
before we get out,
As long as you stay coach, like you said, they ain't had but they get a new coach every 2 years. So it looks like you're dedicated to kind of stay and get the program back right. You know?
that's the plan.
Coach Ennett, before we get you off, you want to give your kids a chance to kind of say anything, or they just kind of support? Want to give you guys a chance to.
Hey, I'll let they can be assertive here.
Okay, we just want to give you a chance to kind of introduce yourself and tell us what you think about, what's your expectations for the season coming up.
Excuse the mess, by the way.
Well, I mean, coming up, like I had a cousin. I know Toomer trained him. His name was Treboy Williams, and like that was my own cousin. And like when first coming, I was normally like my family. They normally go to Kathleen, so I was gonna go to Kathleen, but I came to Gibson because I stay right here. And so when we got here, like we had two different coaches because summer league we had Dre Brown, and then right as soon as we had him, and we switched to have Tally. But I mean with Coach Austin, we had the program is going good. We're getting better every day, and I like what we got with our teammates. I ain't gonna say too much because we the underdogs, but I like how our team is looking right now.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. You got anything, boss man, anything you want to add?
You said it all. You know what I'm saying? We ready to play, you know.
Okay.
Continue to take the knowledge in, man. Your coach got he has 3 state championships as an assistant coach, and he also played for him. So you guys are very blessed. To have that opportunity, and when someone like that is a proven winner, make sure y'all take that in and kind of learn from that. A lot of times when coaches transfer or come from a different area, kids don't like to take in the knowledge of what they actually have to bring to the table. And just continue to compete, man. We wish you guys a lot of luck, this season. I stay right down the road, so I'll be able to come over there and check you guys out a lot. I can actually walk to y'all school if I wanted to. So I'll see what it's about.
Don't be afraid to drop in on a practice or two.
All right.
Well, we appreciate y'all, man. Well, Coach, I also want to give you all the fellas a chance for any final words before we let you go. Appreciate you taking the time and giving the people a little insight and preview to your team for the season.
All I'll say is good luck to everybody. And I wish everybody a good, healthy season. No injuries, no bad sickness, no quarantine. I don't want to get any easy wins that way. I want to play. I want to have a great competitive season this year.
Are y'all in a tip-off classic, Coach?
We're playing at Zephyr Hills.
Zephyr Hills. You want to put the dates and stuff out for people that may not know? It's up to you. So we just kind of give an idea.
That is the 8th.
Week of the 17th. I know that's kind of the other.
I think it's the 17th. It's either 17th and 19th or 18th and 20th. I can't remember off the top of my head.
If you send it to
Kathleen twice, do you play both of them twice? Lakeland, Kathleen, and G?
We have Kathleen once. We don't have Lakeland this year.
Oh, okay.
If you send it to us, we'll put it on the page.
Okay.
But we just want to make sure give people a chance that may not know. We just try to everybody.
I'll email you the schedule. I'll email you the schedule.
Okay. All right. Well, appreciate it, Coach. Appreciate it, fellas, and good luck to y'all this year, man, and much success. And thank you again for coming on and welcome to Polk County. We appreciate you coming in and helping make Polk County basketball what it should be.
I appreciate y'all having us and the press y'all give us. It's impressive what you guys do, and it is appreciated very much. So y'all keep me up.
All right.
Yeah, you too.
All right.
Hey,
right.
like he got, you learn that he's a winner, so you kind of can see why Lake Gibson did what they did last year.
you see that Lake Gibson and Ridge to that point both made some good. I mean, hires because both they got 2 coaches from out of state. Both of them got experience. Both of them done had success. So seemed like they, when you don't know, you question because nobody don't know him from Mississippi.
Mhm.
Nobody know Coach Smith from Kentucky. So that's the normal thing. Why you didn't pick somebody local? Why you didn't pick this person? And seemed like they got it right because both of them got both those programs kind of, moving in the right direction.
Local coaches ain't dedicated, man. I wouldn't want to pick them either the way they leave. One and dones and stuff. So it seems like local coaches ain't dedicated unless you at the school that Bennett. Those schools have been struggling. Well, Lake Gibson has been struggling just to keep a coach, and we talked about that. It wasn't really to downplay Lake Gibson or the kids at the school. They just can't keep a coach there. So now you get a coach in, kids can buy into what he's doing. Lake Gibson might, you know what I'm saying?
And I thought that was a good question from Billy D asking, what is it? Because that is, he can speak on it because he's actually out there coaching. What is it that would make you have to have, those kids to go through 3 coaches in 4 years? And it was, like you said, it was a testament to them that they got to the playoffs with all of that turnover, and especially like Coach Austin didn't get here until the summer. Like it was school's about to start, and he wasn't able to work with them on the summer, none of that stuff. So that was
the sign of respect that you got to give for him to start so late and to actually. But in his truth, now I remember Coach Scott Williams went through the same thing. His first year coach, a bad program. You come in with guys who haven't had coaches to try to get in a buy into your system. The first year, it's always gonna be bad because they don't understand. They don't understand it. So at least he was honest about that. Like, if he'd have had those seniors for 2 or 3 more years, he probably would have had a whole lot better record. I believe him just because he got on coach at the next level, so he knows what it is to win.
Yeah. Well,
ready?
You ready? All right. Well, we're gonna continue on. Transition right into our next school, and as we run through our Polk Hoops preseason media days, this team, this coach, these guys don't really need a lot of introduction. So, without further ado, we'd like to welcome the defending, is it 6A, 7A, whatever the 8 is, state champion Bartow Yellow Jackets into the man cave. Going on, fellas? What's going on, Coach?
How we doing?
Hey, man, we doing all right. If we was doing it better, we wouldn't know what to do. Hey, we appreciate y'all stopping through. Everybody looking all official and, structured. And so we appreciate that. And people in the chat been waiting for the last 40 minutes for y'all to get on. They jumped on the first 2 minutes we jumped on and already talking about Bartow. We told y'all specifically they weren't coming on at 6 o'clock, and they jumped on at 5:05 to let us know about Bartow. So,
Listen, Coach, you used to that circa 1997.
But it is what it is, though. So, but Coach, just like we've been doing with everybody else, we're going to welcome to the show, welcome you and the fellas to the show. We want to give you a chance to kind of make a couple opening statements, whatever you want to talk about, want the people to know, then we'll shoot some questions out to you, then we'll follow up with your closing thoughts. So take it away, it's your flow.
Can you hear me, Coach?
We got you.
Listen, you used to it. You circa 1997 with the Lakers Fire. We doing the same thing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I want to shout out first to my football team. They're 5-0. Bartow has not been 5-0 in my 19. Special shout out to Jason Davis. He's a monster. He's just mousing people now. Finally stepping into his own. I think he had 10 catches, 130, and 2 sacks against Kathleen, and then 5 for 100 and 4 sacks against Auburn. So we're excited about him. Jordan Lowry, stats aren't there because he's on Rebus Island. We just lock it down. And then we got a couple more guys, Maurice Bell and Amarion Baker, the team. So we're excited. It's good to have a good football team. It's good to kind of stand underneath and so shout out to Coach Tate and the football guys. We got a tough down the stretch. Easy one this week, but then Winter Haven, Lake Wells to end it. So that'll be tough, but we're excited about that.
Coach, they don't play Lakeland. They don't play Lakeland. Ain't on the schedule.
No, we took Lakeland off the schedule before Coach Taylor arrived. So the coach, himself off the schedule before he left.
Gotcha.
Coach Taylor actually said that he asked Coach Castle to play when we were looking for games there, and Coach Castle had already had a schedule. I think he was already playing Venice. He probably should have played us rather than Venice.
Hey, I definitely agree. You definitely should have put Venus on the schedule.
Second thing I want to recognize, Alex Vigo is not here. He's one of the seniors along with Nathan Davis. He's really not a Campbell guy, so he's not here. I want to shout out to him. And third thing, this was our last day of applied metrics, and so it's like a celebration around here. That's what we'll say about that for the folks out there who know what's going on with applied metrics. And the final thing is, y'all please go vote. I can't tell you who to vote for. We had some of the guys involved in the campaign to go vote, so please go vote. It's an important election. And we really have got to get more involved in our local election. And when I say we, I'm really talking about guys. I think the ladies overall sometimes get more involved in it than we do. And that's sad. We should be leading the way. So I'm encouraging everybody to get out and vote. If you know somebody that's registered to not vote, get them out to vote. Go vote, go vote, go vote, please go. That's it.
All right, well, Coach, before we get started, introduce who you got with us. So we're gonna ask you some questions. We're gonna ask them some questions too. We kind of recognize, but just for the people who may not know.
Okay, right in front of me is Malcolm Dewberry. Malcolm is a senior. He's played the last 3 years at Avon Park. His family, his brother and sister, and dad and mom, just Avon Park people. And so Malcolm Dewberry right in front of me. Right in the middle of the screen is senior Tyrone Smith. His 4th year here. I think it's 3rd year on varsity for us, Tyrone. To your right there, to my right, KJ Parker, KJ Parker, Kathleen. I coached KJ's dad, Kevis. Guess it's been 20-something years ago now with the Fire. And when I was at Kathleen as a JV coach, he was on varsity, his dad was on varsity, but this good relationship with him over the years. To my right on my row is Walter Clayton, senior. Congrats to Walt on the Iona commitment to Rick Pitino. And then right here in the middle is Amarion Frazier, also senior. 4-year guy for us. So that's everybody that's here.
All right. So, Coach, first question. We asked the same question to Coach Robinson last week. You and him are like the deans of Polk County. This year, 19th year, his 19th year. What is it that, obviously you win, so that kind of goes without saying, but what is it that kind of keeps you coming back 19 years later?
Trying to affect young people, trying to build men is what we charged with doing first. Trying to be the village. Back in the day, our parents talked about the village. Back in the day, if you got in trouble for hoops, you got it from mom, you got it from grandma, right? If there was an auntie down the street, you got it from auntie. And to me, those things have changed. And people say the kids have changed, but the accountability has changed. And so we try to help the kids and their parents to be one of those accountability partners. And so I think that's why I come back. I've had the same coaches 19 years, Coach Austin, Coach Tucker, Coach D, and then the rest of them have probably been here 13 or 14 years. That's another reason why I come back and still do it. And then Bartow is a one-town school. That's Coach Washington has been there, and Corey Tooman has been there. That makes a difference. We don't have to wrestle for. We kind of in our own little cubby hole. The schools around us aren't traditional basketball schools, so we get to keep our kids. Nobody know what we're doing over here. We kind of keep it a secret. We like it like that. And so those are the reasons why I say God had told me to move. Probably I could have answered it like that. Like this is what I'm supposed to do. At least for right now.
Well, Coach, I'm gonna give you a chance to speak on this. If you want to speak on it, you can. If not, you don't have to. You talked about two of your new guys that you got, with us with Malcolm and with KJ. It was some, and then last year with Walt, it was some positive, there was some negatives about the whole transfer thing. Players want to win, and for whatever reason, everybody make a decision on where they want to go and what they want to do. So, do you have anything you want to speak on that, or is it good where it's at?
I'll speak on. Ask me a question. I didn't.
Well, the question, just the whole general, like the negative. It was a lot of negativity not a lot, but there was some negativity concerning those three guys, Walt last year and then Malcolm and KJ this year. Do you want to speak to that, or I just want to give you a chance if you want to. You don't have to.
So I think most of the negativity was because they were coming to Bartow. They had transferred to another school that wasn't Bartow. I don't think that would have been a problem. I can remember when Coach Washington was coaching in Lake Wells and against Capers, everybody was up in arms with no why. It's because Coach Washington and Lake Wells was pretty good, and people didn't want them to be better. So I think that's some of it. I think this is the times that we live in now. We talked about that before, Coach. I think I call it the LeBron James effect and free agency. I think people go where they feel like they can be nurtured. I think people think it's about winning, and now we want to win, but we're trying to. As I talked to Walt, the new college coach, we're trying to build these guys solid. And so I think for various reasons, each guy have a various reason why they came, and you can ask them, and if they answer it, they answer it. If they don't, they don't. But I think for me, so. Yeah, we're getting them because we're winning. But I think some people like the way we do things, our style. Like we all, like you say, we all kind of look the same. We all. I think some people like it. I think some people don't. Okay, so it's like the tunnel thing. So you know how I am. I put everything out there, and I get texts and I've heard Coach Tuma talk about the tumbling kid bypassing Bartow to doing Santa Fe. Well, first of all, I think Blitzer, and I think I told you that I think they can get to a Final Four. I think I told you and Tuma that. So I think that's a good move for him. And I think kids should go where they fit. And so the guys that we have fit us. And they wanted to be here. Like we didn't go out like a Walt. I found out Walt was coming the Saturday before school started. Okay. When all this stuff happened with KJ, I was in practice. You all know that Coach Shaw's my cousin. I was in practice and the phone was blowing up. And I think one of the guys got their phone and said, "Coach, KJ was coming to Bartow after a workout in June." I didn't know. And kind of the same thing with Dewberry. Although I built a relationship with his brother through the Bradley team, and when his brother decided not to go back, he wasn't going back there. So I think for whatever reason, people could not like it. That's okay. People are entitled to it. And it's my job to do what's best for the guys and for the team. And we take them and somebody like Marion or Josh last year, take them with his brothers and let's try to get better. And everybody eat and do what we need to do for their individual success and the team.
I think you said it best though, Coach. Like it ain't just about winning. It's just much respect to what you've built over there in the 19 years as far as a basketball program. And a lot of kids who want to play at the next level probably just want to get that teaching and understanding, because when they go to college, we see a lot of kids get lost in the woods right now because they don't have that coaching or understanding on how to play organized basketball. So it ain't just about the winning. It's something you're doing over there that's a little bit deeper than the winning, as well as you have a solid coaching staff. So kids not only learn from you, they learn from others like Coach D, who's played at a high level. That's a big plus. And again, it's about a program. I have a question for you, Coach, because I saw the transition for you last year.
I'm hurt when you say that, because that gives the insinuation that I'm any better than anybody else. I don't like the guy winning Hayden. That guy can coach some basketball. That guy been to 3 Final Fours now.
Oh, Yeah. We definitely give Coach Woodside the same respect too, because he's a proven winner.
Right.
But I mean, when I look at kids transferring to you the way they are now, and I don't think it's been like a regular thing where you getting what we call some of the top players.
Right.
But it's well known, Coach. You got a solid program. You do things that a lot of schools around here don't do. And I mean, I think Bartow has become the trend of a basketball program. So you're doing something. When we talk football, the first name that's gonna come up is Lakeland football, because of the program. So it ain't to say that no one else is doing it, but it's a very spotlight on what you're doing. I mean, let's look past the state championship last year. It's just what the program has been doing as far as being consistent. My question for you, Coach, though, is like, I know bringing in Walt last year, that was like the first time you had a elite point guard that can do multiple things. So with you getting all these transfers in, are you adapting to the game, or are you coaching the same way you coach 10 years ago? Or are you making that type of adjustment for the players that you have? Or like, what are you doing? Because you got three solid guards that all play the point. So what is your adjustment going to be like that to keep a smile on everybody's face?
So to answer the first part of your question, I think what we tried to do off the court, we have not changed in who we are. You're going to have to go to class. You ain't going to play. You're going to have to come to practice. You ain't going to play. So that kind of stuff, family environment, like we have not changed that. Have we tried to be better as coaches or adjust to the times of the way we coach? Yeah. Like I talked to Coach Washington about that a lot. Sometimes we do a lot of talk. Now that he's on the girls' side, we do a lot of talk. And so, yeah, we've adjusted. What are the adjustments? Okay, so relative to these guys being like the KJ or Malcolm, will we play any different than last year? I'm not sure we will. I thought we played pretty fast last year. I think we'll play fast. We probably don't have a guy that we can throw it into the post but back to the basket. Like I think Dathan and those other guys inside are different type of post players. So we'll have to drive and dunk and stuff like that. So we don't have somebody like Josh that we can just throw, but we'll still play inside out. But we'll do the same thing. I think the way you get people to buy in, because the question has been asked, well, how you gonna play all those guys? Well, we played 10 guys last year. You said, well, these guys, okay, I know what the word is. Well, they may be better than those guys. And okay, so Dewberry played 30 minutes in his place, and KJ played 25 minutes in his place. And then you got Tyrone and Marion. They match up. Well, everybody's going to sacrifice on a great team. You go look at a great college team, and you go look at, I know you and Billy Lakers guy. Well, ain't nobody for most of the year. Now, down maybe in the championship game, LeBron's lost 46 of the 48 minutes. But ain't nobody playing. LeBron ain't playing 46 minutes a game in the regular season, first, second round of playoffs. He's playing his 35 to 40. And these are pros. And so if they can do it in the pros, or 2 years ago, Villanova, North Carolina, those teams play a lot of guys for Virginia. They can do it. Then why can't we do it? And so it's not been a hard sell to the guys. We've only had 5 or 6 guys playing here in the fall because we got we've had 5 or 6 of the varsity guys playing in the fall, and they figured out you can't play really hard and press for 32 minutes. So they come out the game huffing and puffing. I said, okay, no, there's no crap when I sub you out in the regular season. Now you give me a chance to play 32 minutes, you can't play 32 minutes. And so it's an easy sell. Like if you talk to Dewberry or KJ, Walt's been here now. We talk to Dewberry, KJ, and we haven't had everybody because of football to be able to work out the kinks, but it's not going to be no problem. And why it works, let me tell you why it works. It worked because last year Josh said, this is what we got to do to win. And Walt was the on the court leader, but Josh was the one who said, I want to win, this is what we're going to do. And this year it worked because of Marion's sacrifice. Said, if I'm sacrificing, y'all can sacrifice. Be quiet and do what we need to do to win. And so when you have great leaders like Josh last year, Marion this year, who have paid the price, The other guys who come in, you know, they and the returning guys. So we got Alex returning, we got Jordan returning, we got Tyrone returning, Jason returning. Like those guys, and we got some guys coming up from JV. They'll play. Like everybody guys. It won't be a problem. It won't be a problem.
So, Coach, speaking, you know, on leadership, to kind of transition to a couple of your kids, to Amarion and Tyrone, this question for both of you all. You guys are kind of like the old guys in the program now. So they both have been there from freshman to senior year, if I got it right. So speak about how the team has been for you all from freshman year to now seniors, when you came in as kind of not really knowing what's going on, and now you guys are kind of like the leaders of the team. How has that been as far as the team transition, and then even like adding the new pieces that you all have over the last 2 years? Did they hear me? Do they not there to talk, Coach? Did they hear me?
Maybe they ask him again. I don't know.
Okay, this question is to Amarion and Tyrone. If either one of y'all want to answer, or neither one of y'all want to answer, that's fine. You guys both been in the program for 4 years. So the question is, how has it been from your freshman year to now as seniors, as far as the team? How has it changed? And how has it been the last 2 years with the new pieces that you've had? You got one piece last year and you got two pieces this year. How has it been, your whole experiences? Because you guys can speak on it from start to finish.
I mean, only personnel changed, but like really play, it never changed.
Did he ask me a question?
Yeah, he answered it. He said the personnel changed, but as far as playing at Bartow, that doesn't change. That hasn't changed anything.
But for you, your role has changed kind of because you're going to be doing something different this year than you did last year, right? And so you've kind of, I know Tyrone kind of been like the main shooter, so his job, I guess, hasn't changed. I don't want to misquote you. I see you smiling. That's kind of what when we see. Yeah, if I'm sizing you, let me know, and you can correct me. I don't mind, but from what we've seen, that's what you're doing. I'm pretty sure you can do much more than that, but I know Marion has kind of changed. So Tyrone, you kind of be the forgotten guy sometimes. When people talk about Bartow, they kind of talk. Now, one thing McGriff will make sure people know, he'll make sure people know about you, and people that know basketball will know, but you kind of sometimes a forgotten guy. But you look up in the stat sheet and you got 2-3 threes that, you know, that's get the lead from 2 to 9 going to the quarter. You come out or go in the half, you go down from 5 to 12. So I know that you guys have kind of been through all of it. So that's why I was kind of asking you all your take, because you can give a different viewpoint on it than the other three guys. No disrespect to them, but you guys have been there longer than them. That's what the question was. So, okay, so they quiet. All right, so we'll transition on to man in the back. First of all, congratulations, Walt, on your commitment to our up in New York. We wish you nothing but the best. We like when our guys continue to be able to have a chance to move on to the next level and continue to play and get a free education. So congrats on that. So speak on year 2. What's different from year 1 to year 2 at Bartow?
A lot more expectations. Like Coach Griff kind of knows me off the court now. Like I heard he knew me off the court. He didn't know me. Now he knows me. So like he owns me by like every single little thing. Like he can act like he can act connected. Like me being like better as far as like being able to coach guys and be a player at the same time. Like as a point guard, like I've been trying to get better with that. With the things going on. Really, and I've been trying to like be better, like because you know kids didn't coming in. I've been trying to be like better, like helping them, like helping people transition into like new phases. Because I had to transition into, I was kind of like different, I guess. Because I just came in like I kind of like fit right in. Like I had Josh and all, and they helped me. So I've been trying to like help them a little bit, trying to get better with that and stuff like that. So I feel like it's a lot of expectations I need. That's the difference.
Okay.
KJ, what's up, KJ?
What's up?
I got a question for you, man. How was your transition? Well, both for you and Dubear, how has the transition been for you guys coming over, and what has been different for you from playing on one to the other, as far as not just basketball, but for the whole part of being in the Bartow program?
I could say it's to the family. It's just everybody got a tight bond. I felt like my first day I came, it just felt like I always been here. So it's just a big family. And hardest thing I just trying to push through, work out, trying to do the best I can be every day.
Just like KJ said, it's more of like of a family oriented, group. We just, to me it feel like I just like fit right in, like they correct me on stuff that I need to be corrected on. But I'm not perfect, so the transition, they're gonna part the part, so they're real well. So, they're going.
Well, I know that family is kind of for you, Malcolm, because you went from being coached by your brother to now being coached by McGriff. So you kind of went from one family, in a sense, to another family. And that's kind of, what a lot of folks, when they talk Bartow, they talk, family. You walk in the gym and you look the same, you dress the same. You're going to come out the locker room, you're going to have on the same outfit, even if it's them candy cane warm-up bottoms that nobody wears but Bartow. You know what to expect. And I know some of you guys probably got some thoughts about that, but enough not to say anything. But it's just, we were talking about this before you all jumped on. They laughing like they hate when y'all have to put them pants on. I know.
Coach, the comments, Coach.
What happened?
All the comments now popping up.
Coach, this is the thing. I used to think that you made them put them on when you got mad at them because you didn't do them every day, and it was just like. But anyway, that's another segment. We was talking before you all jumped on about. Tuma asked a question on the opening segment about what's the difference of kids being, high level kids. And one thing that I said that kids don't really focus on as much nowadays is their bodies. And we kind of mentioned, your off-season program specifically at plyometrics. And so you kind of talked about, it's kind of funny you say this is y'all last day doing it. A lot of people, we get some flack sometimes because we talk about Bartow and things that you all do. But I mean, if we're talking about a topic and a team here in Polk County does it well, then we're going to speak on it. Like the reason why I asked you about the transfer stuff, because I always want to give you a chance. Like we asked Woodside about it last week. We asked Coach Robinson about it. So it's something that's out there. It's nothing you can kind of run from because it happened. Even Coach Austin just said it that he lost a couple of kids, but he got a couple of kids in that we didn't even know about. So it just, that's just the nature of the beast. That's just how things are. As far as the current pandemic, Coach, I heard you say y'all playing fall ball, and you only got a couple of your guys that are there right now, so you don't have the football guys. How has it been dealing with the pandemic, and how as far as now and in preparation for like the season? Because we kind of put this question out there. You know how football. I see with Frostproof got a game canceled. Again, this is the second time this year they done had games canceled for the football team. If that was to happen to a basketball team, you got to be out for 2 weeks. It's a much bigger hit because that could be 5 or 6 games in basketball as compared to, 1, maybe 2 games in football. So how are y'all managing the, the pandemic, and what is it looking like for possibly for the season?
Walter start, and then I'll end it. You say you want to get it. So I'll let him start.
Really, everybody like focus on the pandemic. We ain't really focusing like on it. We keep our masks on and stuff like that through our school, but other than that, we really preparing like we're gonna have a regular season. Like we're gonna be ready if COVID go away. Like we're gonna be straight. We're gonna be prepared how we prepared last year. Stuff like that. But if it don't go away, then time to do it.
Coach, for the off season, it's been an adjustment because we didn't get June. April, May, June is the big part where you build a team. And you build a chemistry on the team. I think if it's something that maybe people can't figure out about us is that we focus more on building a family and a team. It's what we got from the fire, so it's not like it's anything different. But we really focus on it, and we lost that in April, May, June. So in the fall, we played some fall league games. We tried to keep them quiet, and we didn't want anybody to know because we didn't want it. It wasn't a purpose. We were just trying to. It was actually a blessing in disguise that we didn't have Jordan or Dathan or like one time Walt was away and didn't play. Alex has missed some. He was away, so it's giving KJ and Malcolm a chance to kind of play more. So that was a blessing. So this part we just tried to be studious about making sure that we do what we normally do. As far as getting ready with plyometrics, playing the fall games, building the team, like building the chemistry of the team. For the regular season, I'm not sure what we can do. And I'll put this out there for the other coaches, because I'm Polk County all the way. We're going to ask our teachers on campus if our kids can sit in a corner when December gets here. Because like we've had Tyrone that got swept up in a 14-day quarantine. He didn't have it. He was sitting next to a student that had 14 days. We've had a couple of our JV guys been swept up in 14-day quarantine. Not that they had it, but Polk County, if you're sitting next to somebody that has it, you get called, and you all being educated, y'all know you get swept up in 14 days. So we're going to ask, and it'll be the teacher's discretion. We can't mandate it, but we're going to ask our guys, can they sit in the corner once December gets here, just so they're not swept up. So that's one thing we're doing. As far as the guys, we can't, like if somebody in their home, there's nothing we can do about that part. When we get to January, we'll talk to the parents and say, hey, parents, this is important to us. Make sure that your child is doing what they have to do at home and not going out to parties. And make sure, we can't tell the parents to make sure you don't get it, but make sure that, that the kids are as well as we can do. And that may not even matter, Coach. Jenkins volleyball team their varsity got quarantined because our varsity volleyball team had a kid on our team had it. So, like we told the kids, we can't control that. We're not gonna worry about it. We got our masks, like we all wear our masks, and we're gonna social distance. We're gonna wash our hands, and after that, we're gonna pray about it, and we're just gonna do what we do. And if we get it, well, we have to be quarantined. There's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we can do. So that part of it is that, and then the scheduling has been a nightmare. We lost the City of Palms tournament. We also lost another tournament that we were going to. So we were down 7 or 8 games before yesterday. We found a couple of Christmas tournaments, but we haven't got them approved yet. We found them, so we think we're going to be good with that. So COVID's in control. Well, he's in control, but COVID's in control. We're not going to worry about it. We're going to be safe and follow all the protocols, but whatever happens, happens, and we're just going to proceed with caution, and we're going to plan to try to prevent like the kids being swept into quarantine. But other than that, what can we do? Let's move forward and try to have a great season.
Yeah, I got a question for Walt. First of all, congratulations, man, on your commitment. I was fortunate enough to sign early, and the reason why I did it, I basically wanted to play the season without having any pressure on me. Because a lot of people would say, well, if you have a bad season, that offer might go away, etc. Coach Gibbons committed to me that no matter if I signed early or not, I was their number one choice. I finished the year pretty much very strong. I think like 22-7. What was the reason behind you going ahead and doing the commitment early? Can you tell us why you did it early, or you just want to get it out the way? Kind of what was the reason for you going ahead and making that decision now?
I had schools recruiting me, but like when they recruited me, like it was kind of like they was hitting me up like every day, like letting me know that they really like they not even wanting me, like needed me. They got a senior backcourt, so they graduated them. So I'm gonna come in as a freshman. I'm gonna be able to do my thing, like stuff like that. I wasn't really worried about no pressure, like losing nothing really. It was just more like with everything going on with Corona, like seniors get an extra year. So like even other schools like that, they'll be able to keep their guard, stuff like that. And then really like the transfer thing this year. If they finna pass something like you transfer, you immediately eligible. A lot of JUCO like players, like because I had a couple coaches tell me they was like we kind of recruited a JUCO kid over here and stuff like that. So like some of the bigger schools, so it was kind of like I kind of really just needed to find somewhere where I could like go be able to showcase my skills and Rick team on they trying to build something over there and I'm trying to be a part of that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I didn't think about the and we talked about it before on the podcast about the transfer portal and how it's going to open up. Plus, you're saying that all kids get to come back, so that's really a good reason to make that decision. But congratulations, man. I know we haven't had a chance to talk about it, but congrats to you on doing that.
So, fellas, last year you guys it was high expectations for the team, and you guys, won state. And so now this year you guys are, you're the 100. Now everybody game of the year. Everybody, circle on the calendar. Talk about how that's been or the expectations of that, of being everybody's, that's just the reality of it. Everybody wants to beat Bartow. They're not your game of the year, but you're going to be everybody's game of the year this year. How has that been as far as the preparation? I see y'all looking at Coach. I mean, he must have already said something about it. And I know him, so I know he's probably had that conversation with you.
I have said something, Coach. They got an answer for you.
I would keep it up, but we've been hunting since last year. Like, everybody was already talking. Who's going to be Bartow? There's a lot of talking going on, but we weren't really doing too much talking because we just got the job done. There's only one team that beat us. They thought they won state when they did that. Now they finished the job.
Oh yeah,
When I was at Lake Wales, I was hunting them boys. I can't lie. I was trying to kill them boys every time I played it.
everybody, game of the year, Bartow.
So
y'all play Santa Fe this year, right?
Oh yeah. So he knew that.
Coach, Coach, that's Tuma trying to stir pot. Coach,
I'm looking at Coach McGriff because he made that statement earlier. And I still don't agree with that statement that he made earlier.
Tuma, we've never had a goal, and I'm not disrespecting Santa Fe. We've never had a goal of beating Santa Fe.
Oh no, that had nothing to do with the goal. It was a comment you made earlier to us, reminding me and Coach Barnes the quote you made that they're gonna make it to the Final Four. So that's kind of
because I'm counting all the way.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. Just a counting thing.
Yeah, you're not in my class. Now listen, I can't. I'm not gonna root for Winter Haven and Kathleen and Lakeland and Deacons. They in my class, but Santa Fe, Auburndale, Lakeland, all those guys.
It sounds better than when you say Santa Fe and Auburndale gonna make it to state, or Lake Gibson. So anybody that's not in your class gonna make it to state. That's what you tell me.
That's not what I said.
You just said that, Coach. I'm gonna put the pressure on you. You said they in your class. You Polk County. You can't speak on one team now, Coach.
People talk about the people down south like they kryptonite and can't be beat. And we got tape on those people last year because they played Dillard. And I looked at that team and I didn't say, well, that team was 20 points better than Santa Fe. They beat Santa Fe. Like I looked at that team and Dillard lost to them by 2 or 3. I said, well, we can beat that team and so can Santa Fe. So I get that because we saw St. Andrews on tape when they played Dillard. And they were good, but Santa Fe probably didn't play their best. Or they didn't play close to their best. If Santa Fe or played better, they got a chance to win. That's all I was saying.
Oh, got a chance.
I'm not predicting that anybody will make it. I got to worry about the Yellow Jackets making it. I ain't, I'm pro Polk County. And I hope he wins it. I was listening to him. He made the regional finals against Hillsborough 2 years ago. I was there rooting for him. I mean, you asked me, like I was there rooting for him against Hillsborough. So we were out and out. It was Lake Wells was playing in St. Pete, and I was at Lakewood, and I was at Hillsborough. So I hope I ain't rooting for anybody this year. I want to be playing, but off the court, I'm rooting for Santa Fe. I'm rooting for the Polk County guys in my class, except for when they play me and what it's got to do with me. I want Polk County to do it. Me and Coach Washington have talked about this. When we were building the program in Bartow, and we were bad. A lot of people, we were 6-21 one year, 8-18 one year. Lake Walter Kathleen were whipping people's butt. Haynes City with Darren Collins had won a state championship. Auburndale with Brandon Johnson. We had to come through all that. And Don Grant. And Don Grant wasn't the same Don Grant in Lake Wales. And when Haven, he was younger, he was coaching a little bit more than what he did in Lake Wales. And so we had to come up through all that and take our beat. And it made us better. And Billy has told you all that as he was building the Lake Wales program, it was the same thing. And so we need Winter Haven, Auburndale, Lake Wales, Kathleen to be good. And we take it as a challenge. And if they beat us, the times that Billy beat us, we wasn't wishing anything bad on Billy. We got to be better. And the times that we beat him, he wasn't wishing anything bad. He said, I got to beat Bartow. I want to go win the state championship. And so I think Santa Fe being good last year, Tuma helped us. Jenkins was really good last year, man. They helped us. Winter Haven was good, and Auburndale was good early, and then lost a couple years late. Kathleen won 18 games. So I think the county being good last year helped us. And so we need them to be good. We need them to be good to win.
Coach, we got a new pastor.
Huh?
We got a new pastor. I just thought I'd let you know that.
I can't wait. I can't wait to break. I'm ready.
Coach, has COVID affected? I know it's took away 2 of your tournaments there, and we hate that for you and the kids. They couldn't go and get a chance to compete at that level. Has it affected the Mosaic, or you still got the same level of? Are they going to allow you to be able to bring in the same amount of teams, the same type of teams in the Mosaic, or they put restrictions on that too?
Our county is a conservative county, and so we're going to be able to have a Mosaic like normal. As a matter of fact, we've gotten some better teams, the out of county teams, because other people are canceling. And they technically, hey, you still have the Mosaic. So like we'll play Windermere Friday night in the Mosaic. Well, they got a kid going to USF. They got another kid going to College of Charleston. They got a big kid that's been over by Florida State. We played them Friday night, and we couldn't get them. If it's a regular situation. So the Mosaic is good. The other thing is the tournaments that we have replaced, the 2 tournaments we lost with, the City of Palms, there's nothing to do about that. But the tournament we're going to, and we can't announce it yet, it's pretty good. So when we announce it and put it out there, we landed on our feet with the tournament. It's actually in our travel radius, so we called a break with that, and it's a pretty good tournament. A lot of the teams that were in the City of Palms banded together to play in a tournament in our area. So I'll be excited to announce it. I think he's waiting on people to sign to get contracts back and stuff like that. And so we'll probably announce it next week. So we landed on our feet with that. And then our second Christmas tournament, I just got a call on that last night. None of them even know it. It's got to be approved. Again, I can't say anything about it, but we caught some breaks with the quality of game. But the thing about it, and as far as you know, this you coach, Tuma know it because he played elite program, and Billy has played and coached in elite program, not 2 of them. You got to play like Christmas is when you get tested. And you may get a couple, like we went there and went undefeated last year, but we didn't go up there to South Carolina thinking we're just going, we want to compete against good teams. And so we'll get that chance. Like if everything goes through with the first tournament is a done deal. The second one, if it goes through, we're excited. And it's not quite the City of Palms, but good competition. We're excited.
Are you doing the Mosaic this year?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Coach, it's amazing how 19 years later, you still as secretive as you was with the Fire. You still sneaking and you ain't doing nothing illegal. You just I said to the guys that Polk Hoops has been good for the county, but it's been bad for Bartow because it's publicizing some of the stuff. Now he still keeps some stuff quiet, and I feel like I don't feel like it. Me and McGriff go back to we both started coaching together, and it's still some stuff. I had to look on Twitter and saw another kid from Sarasota Riverview who posted his highlights, and I sent it to Tuma and Billy D. I said, they were just playing at Bartow this weekend. And he ain't told me nothing. And the only reason, Bartow, because they got 100 banners in there, so you automatically know the first highlight where the game at. But it wasn't Bartow that was playing. It was a kid from Sarasota Riverview. Then another time, it was a kid from another team. So this guy over here playing games ain't said nothing. But I get it. I get it because if I show up, that means I got to let people know. And I get it's still and I guess that's part of the the method to your madness, that it's still some secrecy. I just wanted to make sure I said that publicly.
So, and I told the boys this before we came on the air. Me, and I told the folks. The very best coaches in sport, let's say they're Bill Belichick, right, with the Patriots. Let's say it's Nick Saban in college football. Maybe in college basketball, it's a question. Is it the guy from Villanova? Is it the guy from North Carolina? Okay, Greg Popovich over the last 10 years or 15 years or so in the NBA. If you look at them, information is currency. Information is power. So if you don't give all your information away, you have some power. So when we were planning those shootouts, last year, Coach Washington came to referee for us. This year, the reason I didn't invite him is because he told hoop. I can't invite him and he go and tell all what's going on, at the game. I studied the very best coaches. Bill Castle, okay? Why am I giving out information? Like all these people come and broadcasting their stuff online, that's them. But to me, I get to sit there and figure out what's going on in their program. To me, that's stupid. Why would I give you information to help you beat me? So that's my philosophy about it. And I studied it. I've watched the very best coaches of my era the last 20 years at every level, football, basketball, and high school, football and basketball. And I just believe information is currency. I told the guys, we don't give out information. For instance, KJ, because he's got a relationship with Tuma, I can tell it now, Tuma, since we're on the app. Okay, he comes to me and say, "Well, I'm gonna be talking with Polk Hoops." I say, "What the hell are you talking about? We don't. That's not the way we do business. First of all, like they ought to come ask me. Second of all, I told him and I said, it's time to work. It's talking season, like Steve Spurrier said, talking season. It's time to work. So I wasn't trying to inhibit him from talking. I was trying to get him to figure out that information is currency, and we guard it tightly. And that's,
I didn't take, and I told Tuma that because we was in the gym. He like, what McGriff on won't let us talk to his kids? I say, bro, McGriff been like that for now. The kids don't mind, but that guy still go to the east side of the state to play tip-off classics. He don't post it. If you notice on McGriff's schedule, he never posts his tip-off classic as far as the location. That's just how he operates. So I didn't take it personal. I knew exactly what it was. I'm like, but it makes no sense if we can't get if we can't get those guys, then it kind of what we was trying to do, it kind of was a moot point. So I get it. I mean, that's the method that's been successful for you. And once
we start playing games, I ain't got no problem with that.
Right. I got it.
So hoops has been good for Bartow High School now. So it's made me have to adjust and be a little bit more secretive, Yeah. But what y'all have done for the county man, promoting the kids, it's unbelievable. And it's been a vacuum. Like you feel the vacuum. So y'all, what you have started and then Tuma and Billy, like it's been good for us too. We getting something out of that too.
It's making you move a little different than you used to. I get it. That's why if you notice, I don't ask you stuff that I already know the answer to. So when you got that question, it didn't come from me because I already knew. So I get it. I'm not gonna put you in a situation to be outside of what you do, but we gotta kind of be,
No, I understood too after we talked. I just didn't I didn't want it to be a situation where you thought that we were gonna be that I would personally be the tumor that I had been with the coaches and ask those type of questions. I think we were more on the page of getting all the top ranked players an interview just to kind of talk and just kind of talk to all the kids. But once me and Barnes and talked about it, I mean, I totally understood. I didn't bring it up. I just thought it would have been a great idea. I'm just confused on we've been on here about 15, 20 minutes and Billy D over there watching Days Out Live. He ain't got no questions for you.
Man, y'all dominate the conversation, so I'm letting y'all have it. First of all, McGriff, anything you do, I already know about, and I find out about every time. So don't think you so secretive that I do not find out about it. I just don't say nothing about it.
Listen, I found the leak. I found that out, and I found the leak. I'm plugging that leak. I found that out. I said, okay, I found the leak, so I'm working on that. I'm working on shutting that leak off. Yes, sir.
No, it's okay, but obviously I didn't say anything. But you saying I'm Polk Hoof, I'm gonna put your business out there in the street. I see where we at now. So when you texting me, trying to pick my brain on stuff, I'm gonna act like I'm asleep now. But okay.
You ain't gonna do that. You too much of a coach to do that. You love coaching, so you just talk.
Coach, you was talking about something earlier, and this is the question that I want to ask you. First of all, congratulations on winning Dairy Farmers Coach of the Year for 2020 for the entire state of Florida. That's an elite company, so I want to congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
You were talking about coaches that you look at and you study and that you admire. Most of them was in other sports. What I want to know is who are the coaches that you admire in basketball and that you have reached out to, or you kind of telling your self around? Because I know how hard you work off the court. I don't think your players know how hard you work off the court as far as trying to get better with drills, philosophy, style of play, going to clinics, talking to different people. I don't think they understand what the amount of work that you put in. So what coaches have you looked up to during your career at Bartow and that you, get information from to help you improve as a coach?
The number one influence on my coaching career was Gordon Gibson. He, Tuma's coach, y'all know he's a Southern coach, was at Florida Southern for 10, 12 years. His son is my classmate, Jay Gibson. He hadn't been around, but all the defensive stuff that we do, which Billy, you all did at Lake Wells and now at Winter Haven, and Tuma, you all did at Mount Dora, and then at Florida Southern. All the defensive stuff we do, like last year, we've tweaked it to fit our kids, but I got that from Coach Gibbons 22, 21 years ago at Catholic. He got 5 from Florida Southern. He came and started. Drew Taylor was a Florida Southern guy. He came and started coaching varsity practice. I said, hey, Coach, can I get some help in JV practice? He would come. And I think it stuck in with me because he would do it in varsity practice. I would go in JV practice and then work on it. If I didn't understand something about the next guy, I said, hey, Coach G, what about this? Coach Griff do it like this. So he's been the number one influence as far as defensive, probably on my career, offense or defense. Okay. The smartest offensive mind in the county is Marlon Austin. So a lot of the stuff we've done over the years, I give him credit. He's a genius. And so I get the credit, but he's a genius. And Billy, you talked to him. And now I know during the pandemic, Polk Hoops and Tuma talked to him as well because we were doing all the teams. So him and his brother, he's responsible for a lot of what we've done over the years, system-wide. Okay, probably to answer your question the other way, the last 5-6 years there have been 2 old white guys. Okay, they came down to meet Scott Williams, Tuma, and Scott Williams has been in the pocket. 2 guys from North Carolina. Mike Hollis and Coach Nunley. I met them through, they call Network Basketball in North Carolina. I met them through Scott Williams. We had Tony Bradley's senior year, and he invited our team over. They were doing an offensive skills clinic. Okay, and Billy, you've been to one of their clinics here now. They went over there, really took the team over there. And to me, they were a godsend. I thought that God had sent them, and they thought God had sent them to help Tony Bradley. Tony Bradley had committed to North Carolina. They were 30 minutes from Capitol Hill. Turns out that they really came down to impact our program. We made a change probably about 3 or 4 years ago in our style of play offensively, and most people didn't notice it. We picked up the pace of play. It really was on full display probably 2 years ago. Not last year, but the year before, the 2 years before that. We were not the favorites in our area. Let's just say that. In 2018, when Haven went to the Final Four, and there was a theory that you can't run with them, and we went out and we were boogie with them. They beat us. And they wound up going to the Final Four, but it wasn't because we couldn't score with them, but just because they were a little bit better. The next year, Lakeland was the favorite to go to the Final Four, and I think in the 3 games we played them, we put up 82. They beat us in Lakeland. We put up 60-something, and in the district championship game, we put up 70-something. I credit Mike Hollisman for showing me a different way to think about offense. And I've talked to Coach Billy D about it. And so I think the last 5 or 6 years, they've been the biggest influence. That we've always played fast, but we're playing faster. And so I think the biggest influence the last 5 or 6 years has been the guys at Network. Incidentally, I've tried to get them hooked up with other coaches. So like I'm not a guy who says, well, I'm a secretive guy like Barnes, like Polk would say, but with some stuff, like with basketball knowledge, like it's basketball now. So I try to get them. They come down every year to the Mosaic, and I try to get them hooked up with coaches in the area. And I think because they're old white guys, people are apprehensive because they're old white guys from North Carolina. But they've been, okay, Billy, we went to there, okay, they come down to Apopka, then they come over back here on September on a Friday and Saturday to work with Tony. Then we go to them in the spring of 2016. So Tony graduated in 16. We go to them. We take 30 kids. He was one of those guys. He was a seventh grader to Raleigh, North Carolina, and it was our. And so we've had a relationship with them, and we don't get credit for being skilled, but our kids are pretty skilled. We can shoot the ball. We handle the ball well. We make passes. And we've always been skilled, but I think we've taken it to another level. And so that is probably the other biggest influence, other than Coach Austin and Coach Gibson on my coaches. Now, we steal stuff from everybody. So, like, we've stolen some stuff from you, Billy and Bernie. Like, we coach together with the Bradley team. You all do things different with the press than we do. So I told you, and I told Coach Austin, here's what the Lake Wells press looks like. That part of what they do, we can't do, but this part of what they do, we can do. We stole. We stole some stuff from Coach Collins and Barnes over the years. I can't really say what because Henderson's still there, and I ain't gonna give him to him what we stole. But we've taken some stuff from people. Coach Woodside with some things he does offensively. That guy's pretty good offensively. We've taken some things from him, and so we steal from people in high school coaches too. Over the years.
Coach, you ain't just started stealing. I remember when we used to play against you. I go and scout a game against you, and you running my out of bounds play. And I was like, man, what is going on here? Like, come on, Coach.
Coach, ain't nothing to say that if it worked for you, it can't work for me. And I ain't got no pride. I want to win. And you ran that thing too deaf. We knew it was coming, and we still couldn't stop it. So I told Coach, what we doing? Let's run it. And so we did. You're right.
Hey, Coach, if the pandemic allows, can I get my girls to perform at halftime of a good game?
Say that one more time. I didn't hear you.
Can I get TBS to come over and perform at halftime of a good game if the pandemic allows?
Now listen, I've been trying to get you to bring that group over here for years, and we have never been able to hook up. You work up anytime. We got some Friday games. I know Friday's probably best. A lot of times it's your season. It's your competition season, so we haven't been able to hook up. And we got Calhoun on a Friday, Lakeland on a Friday, Winter Haven on a Friday, We go to Auburn this year, so we don't play them here at home. So any you tell me, if the schedule's not done yet, I got to get. Yeah, we want that creates an atmosphere like you bringing that team. It creates an atmosphere at the game, and we all about atmosphere at the games. Like that's important. I tell myself if I got 2 daughters, if they play, how would I want the atmosphere at the games to be? Well, I would want it to be like ours is. I want it to be popping. I want it to be like the girls, your team coming stepping. Like to me, that's what high school sports is about. Yeah, please come on now. We waiting on it.
Appreciate it.
Coach, what's the difference in the atmosphere or expectations from last year's team to this year's team?
Because we were just talking about it, the implied metrics. Okay, last year's team, the outside folks questioned, did we have enough talent? I knew we had enough. The outside folks didn't understand the kind of character we had, the intangible, the lunch pail. I was able to coach them like me. Let me say it like that. I coached them like me. This year's team, we got new people when they've already won. That creates some differences. Because I don't want to say guys are fat-headed, but they know they can do it. Like I can't sell them on like later in the year last year as we were going. I said, well, what have you done? Y'all haven't done that. Well, no, I can't use that no more. They've done it. So that's created some not cockiness, but I got to coach them. But I'll say this: the outside world now expects us to win it. And I told them today, my challenge is the intangibles aren't as good as last year. Every day when we start November 2nd, I'm coaching about the intangibles, the character, the leadership, the camaraderie. Because if the talent's even, that's what wins. Like us and Dillard were even. Us and Hillsborough were even. The difference was the intangible. And so maybe we got enough talent where there's nobody that's even. Okay, but just in case we don't, I'm coaching the intangibles and the character. And that was my challenge to them going into practice starting. And we show me that you got high character by showing up every day, by working hard, by being a good teammate. So that's probably the difference. They already know. We got 5 or 6 guys that already know they can win. That's helped the football team. Like Nathan Davis, know he could. Jordan, he know he could. And but we got new guys like Dewberry and KJ and some other kids that play JV. They hungry. And these guys who got the experience okay, you said something that we are the hunted. Well, we always hunt. What we did last year got nothing to do with this year. I talked to Johnny Lawson and you about that because you all have won multiple back-to-back. Like that got what they got to do with this year. So we going hunting. Like people think that they coming after us. Well, we going after them. So it's gonna be different. It may not be 31-1 and 29. Like it's gonna be different, but these guys got to prove to me their character in those type of games, and we going hunting still. Our motto this year with all the smoke, like bring it. We're not running from the expectations.
Okay. Well, Coach, we appreciate y'all time, man. We're gonna give you a chance, you and the guys, any final words and anything else you all want to say before we let you all go.
Thank you. Hey man, Coach Billy D, I'm disappointed you had no question for me, man. Like you ain't even talking to me today, man. It's all good, though. I see we don't hear that.
Don't worry about it, bro. I'm gonna tell you why, man. Because you got that Bartow shirt on. I'm still struggling with that.
Hey, look, I want you to just look at my shorts. He made it look. It's Bartow Spirit Day, so I made sure to wear some late wear stuff. He made me put my shorts inside out, man. I promise I got a late wear shorts.
You can't wear that stuff here.
Well, just know, man, we rooting for you. We proud of you. Coach, you doing a great job over there. The expectations are high. I always gonna talk highly of what you're doing over there, and those kids are gonna be great men in the end, and that's what they're gonna have to understand, that you're making great men over there, and we appreciate you, Coach.
Hey, Coach, I like lemon pepper on my wings. I just want to remind you what me and you and Polk Hoops talked about at lunch last time. I like lemon pepper on my wings, and I'm not gonna wait a year.
sometimes the team the next year with less talent, and I'm talking about Santa Fe, sometimes great things happen. So I'm Polk County all the way. They're excited about Alvin. I saw he got some offers. So I was talking to Blicker. Blicker was over. We played in Tavares Sunday, and Santa Fe was there. I give him credit, and he'll play anybody. He like us. He was over there playing like we were playing, and I was talking to him about like that kid, and he was lighting it up over there. So congratulations to him on his offers. I saw that the Lakeland Christian kid, Drew, that's an offer. So congratulations to him. I'd like to thank you all for what y'all doing. I'll say this again. I think I said this last time, and I don't care what people think. And I know y'all doing the advertisement. Now, Bartow can't give no advertising. We ain't doing that. We need our money for us. But I think y'all should charge like Prep Hoops is charging. Well, I think y'all should charge now. You know, that's my spiel for Polk Hoops. I think the job y'all doing for kids, like y'all putting stuff out there about scholarships, like y'all talking about academic stuff. All y'all educated, and so I appreciate that. And I want to wish everybody in the county good luck, except for when we play. I wish everybody good health, and we're excited. We're excited about it. Any access y'all want to the guys, y'all feel free once the season starts. Okay, and go out and vote. Go vote. 2000, we lost the election. I'm a Democrat, so whatever. By 500 votes, and I got people I know that didn't go vote, and then they're gonna go complain.
Yeah.
Complain if you vote, okay? And the final thing is, man, I appreciate what the coaches are doing. Like I listened to him in Woodside. I listened to Blicker. I didn't get a chance to listen to Coach Gibson. I listened to him on the retake, but I appreciate what everybody's doing for the kids in the county. Good stuff.
Appreciate
we go ahead. You got something else too?
Nah, I just say appreciate you.
We appreciate y'all, man. I want to shout out to y'all guys for that voting campaign. That was pretty impressive. We wanted to make sure and waited till we got on the show to tell you that you guys taking time to talk about something that's bigger than you. That says a lot about you. That a lot of people won't catch. So shout out to y'all for that. And thank y'all for coming on, man. We wish y'all nothing but the best. Now that the season started, we will reach out to you all a little more. Like I said, I know your coach, which is why I didn't push the point. But we'll be in touch. We got something that we working on that a couple of you guys we're gonna be reaching out to, and I already spoke to your coach about it. Something that we try to do nice for the top 10 players to start the season off with. So we'll be. Go ahead, Coach.
I want to say this. Shout out to Coach Boville at Discovery, and he said something. I was talking to him today. He said something I want to echo. He said his number one priority was to get his guys in school. And I feel like that about this guy who looking at me like I'm foo-foo-foo, and these other guys right here that are seniors that don't have it. So that's a high priority.
Well, anything we can do, you already know. Anything we can do to help it along, that's what we here for. That's what we're about. As much access you'll give us, I'm gonna give you the chance, even though I already know the answer. I'm gonna give you a chance, like the other coaches, if you want to kind of let folks know where you're gonna be doing your tip off at, which I already know you're not. But I don't want you to say, I don't want the Bartow folks to say I didn't ask you, and I've been asking everybody else, or giving everybody else a chance and not give you a chance. So even though I'm sure you're probably not, I'm giving you the opportunity if you want to let folks know where y'all going to be at for your tip-off classic.
I still haven't been finished yet. We're still working on it. So
right.
We've actually lost the tip-off. We've been going to Lake Island Prep the last few years, and we lost the tip-off. So the schedule's not finished yet. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. That's fair.
First home game, December 4th against Seabury.
And we know when Santa Fe came on, they let us know that y'all go to Santa Fe December 8th. So we already know that's fellas, they made sure to let us know. They told us the date. We didn't ask them. They told us the date. So we know those two games early.
First game December 4th versus Seabury.
Yes, sir. I heard what you said, Coach. I'm talking to you guys right now before I let y'all go. I'm just in case they missed that show. That's all. So, all right, fellas, y'all be safe out there, man, and good luck to you. And appreciate you again, Coach, for everything you're doing, and thank you for spending a little time with us. Thank y'all.
All right.
Okay, man.
KJ, holla at you, buddy.
All right, cool.
Man, what it is?
All right, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Coach's corner as we finish up. You got something, or you?
I'm gonna leave it real short today, fellas. And this is for the people that are coaching in any sport that you're coaching. To do something that you never did before, you have to do things that you never did before. So if you haven't been to that mountaintop, you know what I'm saying, winning the state championship, you're gonna have to do some things that you never did before. So I just want to leave that gem out for people, you know, because when we were seeking a state championship, it was a lot of sacrifices had to be made. You know, we getting in the gym 6-7 days a week, multiple days a week. You know, I had to go out and scout more. I had to be willing. I went all the way out to Las Vegas for a coaching clinic. I went and sat in Coach Hannerhan's office over and over again just to make sure that I was better so my kids would be better. And a lot of times you got to do things that you have never done before in order to do the things that you have never did before. So I just want to leave that out there for everybody. Hopefully they can understand that and apply it to what they're doing.
Okay. Well, we appreciate that, Coach. It's kind of, I mean, it like you say, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you want it, a lot of people talk about it, but are you doing what it takes to get what it is that you're talking on? So I had a real good one today. We had Lake Gibson come through, and also we had Bartow come through. So we very, very appreciative of that. Next week, we're going to our outside Polk County folks. We'll have Sebring and Hardy coming in. I mean, they adopted Polk County, but we get them both in the man cave next week as we kind of inch closer to the start of basketball starting up. If the boys start November 2nd, I mean the girls start Monday. Right? Yeah, because the girls always start a week ahead. So the girls get going. So shout out to the girls, all the girls coaches and ladies that are getting ready to coach. I mean, you get going next week, huh? So we ain't gonna be able, you know how y'all had them just start practices. So we may be missing you after next week, because y'all just finish when y'all feel like it. So
Coach, we'll make it happen. I'll be here.
Yeah, Coach, and y'all as we talking about state championship predictions and Melon, we've been hanging them things on Arvindale and all these other people. We gotta talk about Winter Haven girls next week too, because they locked and loaded too. But Coach been kind of slow pacing. He ain't really been talking about it. So we're gonna give a chance to speak on it next week.
They gotta be Ely.
Yeah, well, we're gonna give a chance to kind of talk about it next week though. But we appreciate y'all, man. As always, real good show today. Tomorrow got a couple good football games going. If you're interested, I know.
Do Lakeland play tomorrow?
Bloomingdale, yeah, Lakeland got Bloomingdale at home. They got they got a tough one at home. Kathleen got a tough one at home. They got Plant City. Bartow.
Lakeland had a bye. I ain't heard Lakeland talk football all week.
Bartow should, they got another practice game tomorrow. Lake Gibson got a practice game. It should be a good small school game with Lakeland Christian and Berkeley Prep. Berkeley Prep lost Frostproof and they picked up Lakeland Christian, so that should be a really good game. So if you're going out tomorrow, make sure that you check out the yeah, I think I'm gonna go check out Lakeland tomorrow too. So appreciate everybody rocking with us. Appreciate y'all spending a little time with us. And if all hearts and minds are clear, Polk Hoops, that's it for this week. We'll do it again next week. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, fellas.